Many British visitors and people from the whole of the Commonwealth come to Picardy. Most of the people come to Picardy to visit the battlefields. There's a large part of our history which is here in France, and it's very important to a lot of British people. It's quite unusual. Most people who live over here came because of their passion for the Great War or for the beautiful countryside, but I came because of my mum. She was the one who wanted to come and set up a bed and breakfast on the battlefields. But over the years I've made this place my home. It's certainly my home now. Here we are at Thietval. This is the Thietval Memorial behind me, and to me it represents the whole of the First World War. It's just so huge, it's immense. You can see it from miles around, absolutely miles around. But as you get closer and closer to the memorial, suddenly you realise that it's the individual man who's important. Suddenly his name jumps out at you from the walls. 72,000 men are commemorated on this memorial. 72,000 men who are the missing of the Somme. These men have got no known grave. I mean, there are lots of other places that can be visited here in the Somme. For example, the Newfoundland Memorial Park it's an amazing place because it's so visual. You still have the trenches which are there, the trenches and the shell holes, so you can visualise the battlefield, but still without feeling that you're on a battlefield. I think that's very important, that we must realise how beautiful the land is now and appreciate that. Another site which is less well known, and it's a shame because it's so beautiful, it's amazing. It's at Frise, it's the Mountain of Frise it's called. It's not really a mountain at all, it's just the heights above the Somme Valley. And you can go up there and you just look down over the valley. It's my favourite place in the whole of Picardy. Other sites that can be visited, I've mentioned the Lotnagar crater. The Lotnagar crater is just so huge. It's one of those sites you just have to see it to believe it. You can't imagine how big it can be from a book or from somebody describing it. You have to go and see it. Then you have, there's hundreds of memorials and cemeteries in this area, and each one is very special in very different ways. There's lots of things to learn. That's the big thing. You can always learn plenty on these battlefields. There are so many questions to ask every time you stop at a cemetery, and obviously there are hundreds of cemeteries, and just in the Somme, not just in Picardy, just in the Somme, there are hundreds of cemeteries with thousands of men buried here. And every time you stop one, because you'll pass the cemetery all the time when you go to the shops, when you go to school, when you go to work, and you always have those questions: who is this man, and where did he come from? What happened to his family? What happened for him to lose his life? The questions are endless. Each question and each answer sparks more curiosity, so it really is never ending.